Why can't we just all be tolerant? Can't we live and let live and allow people to just be who they want to be? Isn't that how we formed this country? Isn't that why we came here?
That's
so
right.
that everybody could be free to be who they wanted? That's how we formed this more perfect union? Can't we just all be Americans?
And that's one thing to keep in mind in the election, no matter what the outcome is. I have come across a heck of a lot of emails recently from people who are saying, well, if these guys wins or if these guys wins, it's not going to be fine. It's like, I think we should all, first of all, keep a cooler head and realize that this is not the most drastic election that our country has gone through. By no means of the imagination. The election right before the Civil War, the election right before Abraham Lincoln got elected was definitely, by far, way far beyond anything that we are facing right now. So, in terms of history, this election, yes, it's important, but it's not a make or break. We're not going to disintegrate from this. However, whoever wins, we still have the three branches of government. We still have the whole Constitution and the whole framework of society. So that is one thing that we should keep in mind. And I think it's very important to have accountability and to have transparency in government, no matter who's in power. I don't care if it's a Democrat or a Republican. And that is the main thing that every individual in this country should stand for accountability and for transparency of the people that we put in power, because notice, nobody's making a coup or anything like this. This is going through an election process in every state, in every county, in every town. So we should keep that in mind. And I'm glad you brought it up, because, whoever wins, that is the most important fact about living in this country.
Well, I have to take issue with that comment, and let me tell you why. Mm-hmm. I do think that this is the most important election of our entire American, since the founding of America. And the reason is this. I honestly, with all my heart and soul, believe that with the associations that Barack Obama has had and his past and the way he leans, that he has the underpinnings that would undermine our Constitution. I honestly believe that he is a Hitler type of regime type of person, okay? This is what I honestly believe. I honestly believe that he is cheating in the finances. He has cheated in how he came to be the nominee. I believe he has not followed the will of the people. I believe that every which way from Sunday, should he become elected, he will not have been elected truly the way this country has meant to elect a candidate. That's one. Mm. Two, I do not believe he is a Democrat. I believe he is a socialist. I do not believe he is right for our country. Now, having said that, if he is elected, he will have the presidency, he will have the House, he will have the Senate, he will have the Treasury, who just now has become empowered of all this money, which will have the banks, and the Wall Street. There will be no balance of power. He will have the power to set he will have the power to have set the
judges?
The judges, thank you very much. And he will have the media in his pocket, as you can well see. So, therefore, the Constitution and the framing of our country was meant to have a balance, checks and balances. If Barack Obama is elected, there will be no checks and balances. That is not what the framers intended. What you will have is Barack Obama having all the power, the media, the House, the Senate, the judiciary, the Treasury, all the money and everything else. You tell me, with the associations that that man has had and all the questions that we are out there about him and everybody that he knows and everything that he does, who in their right minds would be comfortable handing him the entire United States and all of its powers? Not I. And anyone
you do have a very good point. The president...
Yes, everything.
The president not only appoints the Supreme Court justices, the president appoints all federal judges.
All federal, every judge, okay? We're talking about having complete control of the entire country, all of its judges, the Supreme Court, the Treasury, the House, the Senate, and obviously the media. Is there anything this man would have no control over after you just got done saying what you said? Right now, we are poised to overthrow the Republicans everywhere, okay? This is set up. So that there would be no dissent to this man anywhere. This is not a democracy. People, wake up.
I think you have made the most vital point for electing McCain.
Absolutely.
The most compelling point that anybody could come up with. That if there is...
Yes, wake up. There would be no dissent against this man that we know nothing about, who has never served in the armed services, who has a very thin resume, who we know nothing about, who has no experience running a damn thing, who has very bad associations, who has come through this with no vetting whatsoever, who the media has covered, who has hidden his past, who has no friends, and the ones that he has we are very suspect of. Will we hand him our entire democracy? I ask you, in God's good name, will you do this? I think if we do this, it is over for the United States.
Oh, I hope it isn't. But I also hope that we will not do this, by the way. I think people should vote for McCain, not only because of the very excellent point you just made of having all the branches of government plus the Treasury and, of course, the media all in one side, but also because McCain's proposals on the economy and on health care and definitely on national security make sense. And we should not also forget foreign policy. McCain, of all the candidates, has, and include the primary candidates in this 2-year-long election, McCain has the most knowledge and the most experience in foreign policy, whether it is with Europe, the Middle East, or Latin America. And this is not a trivial issue. We're dealing with terrorism that goes on an international basis, which are all connected with crime and drug networks. And McCain has visited each one of these countries and has close associations with them and is for free trade in Latin America.